How will city leaders stop crime in the new year? A closer look at the cries from victims for change in Baltimore. Youth crime plagued the entire state this year, looking at what lawmakers in Annapolis may do to address it in 2024. And the Ravens are officially the AFC's best team, Coach Harbaugh had to say after clinching the 1 seed.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 10.
Number 1 seed! Home field advantage! Yeah!
You can feel it, can't you? Thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Bubala. It is a great way to end the year for Ravens fans and the whole city. Lamar Jackson and company crushed the Dolphins at M&T Bank Stadium today to win the AFC's number 1 seed. That means more football here in Baltimore and a whole lot of happy Ravens fans out there.
I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of Lamar Jackson, man. He's the MVP, man.
You know what we do here in Baltimore? We take over. You feel me? That's what we do. Don't ever sleep on us.
It's going to be hard for some of these teams to come into our home with our atmosphere and our fans, man. We're loud. We're going to bring it the same way the Ravens are, baby.
Ravens are going to Super Bowl, yeah!
Ravens are Super Bowl, baby. Let's go!
Let's go. Let's drive right to it. What a win. Sports Unlimited Rocco's DeSangro is here. Rocco, what does this win really mean for the team?
Mary, it means a lot. Home field advantage is huge. There was so much on the line for the Ravens ahead of Sunday's game with the Dolphins, but they've done the previous 5 weeks. What they've done the previous 5 weeks, this team took care of business with their dominating win over the Dolphins, a nice 2-for-1 deal, securing the top seed in the AFC for the first time since 2019 and winning the AFC North in the process. With that, the Ravens get the first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. This is a team that beat the Jaguars by 16, the 49ers by 14, and today they absolutely dismantled the Dolphins, beating them by 37. In the 56-19 win, Lamar Jackson passed for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns in a performance that likely ended the MVP race in his favor. Speaking of likely, Isaiah had 2 touchdowns of his own. Zay Flowers with another. And now the AFC runs through Baltimore and M&T Bank Stadium. Coach Harbaugh so proud of his guys and what they accomplished.
Adversity, travel, quality of opponents we've had to play, to step up and play the way they had and to put an exclamation point on it, triple exclamation points on it with a performance like this, pretty much a well-rounded, perfect performance like that after the opening bell. Even that, to bounce back from the beginning of the game the way they did, it says about who they are, and I just have so much respect for them.
The Ravens have one more game remaining on that regular season schedule, their Week 18 matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. John Harbaugh not ready to commit to resting starters at this point in time. We'll know much more as the week goes on. The Ravens, the 1 seed in the AFC. How's that sound, Ravens flock?
I think it sounds amazing, Rocco. Thank you. Let's take a look at some of the reaction online tonight. The Ravens calling themselves the Kings of the North after locking up the 1 seed. It is a huge achievement, but fans already say they want more, of course. Some calling the team the best in the league. Others saying this win is just the next step on the way to winning the Super Bowl. And on top of all of that, with this 5-touchdown performance, the Ravens flock now demanding, of course, the league name Lamar, this year's MVP. Well, we are less than 2 hours away from the new year here in Baltimore, but around the world, many countries have already set off their fireworks. This is a look at the celebrations taking place in Hong Kong, South Korea, and in New Zealand. Beautiful. Well, a live look at the Inner Harbor, where people are starting to gather for festivities tonight. Fireworks ushering the new year are set to begin right at midnight. And as we head into the new year, Baltimore is facing a number of problems residents hope to see improvement on in 2024. One of the biggest concerns of violent crime in the city. It has been a violent holiday weekend. On Friday night, a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old were shot in northwest Baltimore. The 17-year-old sadly died from his injuries. That same night, a gunfight ended with a UPS delivery driver being shot at Mondawmin Mall. Police say 2 groups of juveniles were fighting in the parking lot when they started shooting at each other. A stray bullet hit that 50-year-old delivery driver in the ankle. He is expected to be okay. Last night, 31-year-old man was shot and killed in West Baltimore, another victim right before the new year. And we are still waiting for more details on yesterday's police shooting. BPD saying a naked man barricaded himself in a building, then attacked officers with knives before the officers shot him. Police say that suspect is expected to survive. According to the most recent data from Baltimore police, 260 people have been killed in the city in 2023. 631 have survived shootings. Both of those numbers are down from last year, and for the first time in 9 years, Baltimore is on pace to see fewer than 300 homicides. Well, despite the improvements in the city's homicide rate, there were still hundreds of families who lost loved ones to crime this year. During a prayer walk for the victims last week, Commissioner Richard Worley told Fox 45, just getting the homicide number below 300 is nothing to celebrate.
It's a nice accomplishment, but it's still, today it's 258 homicide victims, which is way too many for our city. We still had too many robberies, too many people getting shot. The biggest key I want to accomplish is get a lot of these guns off the street. The proliferation of guns in our city is crazy.
Well, many of the victims who survived are also speaking out and demanding change. Keith Daniels brings us the stories of some of the people who refuse to be silent.
In Baltimore, hearing their voices.
I want to know why no one responded to shut down this party.
The words of loved ones or victims.
He went like this with the gun, and he went boom and hit me with it.
Listening to some of those people hit hard by violent crime in the city.
Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? I started to get nervous one time.
Voices of victims from a mass shooting, armed carjacking.
I was parked right over there.
To a robbery at gunpoint.
I'm going to die because of a gun in my head.
3 individuals whose stories resonated across the city this year. Most recently, Miss Trudy in East Baltimore, when a day of shopping for
want to hear apologies. I want to hear what we're going to be doing for the kids.
One group of residents going so far as to send lawmakers a letter demanding action after an uptick of juvenile crime in their neighborhood.
The hope with this letter and having these conversations that when the next session in January that, you know, they can find viable solutions to right the ship and get the proper laws in place.
Residents aren't the only ones speaking out. Fox 45 News has heard from police.
We're living in a time where, unfortunately, legislators, lawmakers, have decided that it's better to support the lawbreakers rather than those who are enforcing the law.
And prosecutors.
We do need to expand the list of crimes that we can charge younger children with.
Who say current juvenile justice laws leave their hands tied. City State's Attorney Ivan Bates and Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Braveboy coming out with their legislative priorities to tackle the problem.
We've had the opportunity to really talk, to share, and to say, what could we do united to, hopefully fix the problems that we're suffering together.
While they say they don't see lawmakers changing the Juvenile Justice Reform Act, which prevents children 13 and under from being charged with most crimes, they do expect to see some other change, like increasing probation for kids who have a gun or steal a car.
Do you think there'll be support and appetite to make these changes in the General Assembly?
I think so. I think that a lot of the topics that we're hitting on are near and dear to many of our legislators, and they should be because they're near and dear to our constituents.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Maryland Republicans also laying out their priorities, one of them the Juvenile Justice Restoration Act. The legislation calls for several changes, including amending the Child Interrogation Act to allow parental consent to substitute for an attorney to be present during the questioning of a juvenile.
The Juvenile Justice Restoration Act is a response to loud outcry from the public, law enforcement, and state's attorneys.
Meanwhile, Governor Wes Moore says he has a plan to tackle the juvenile crime crisis, but has not unveiled it yet. He says he plans to reveal it before the legislative session begins on January 10th. Well, how is the city spending your money, and will there be more transparency next year? Looking at some of the changes Baltimore residents are demanding from the city in 2024.
And I am tracking some showers to kick off the new year, plus more showers in the week ahead, along with the potential for some snow for the first full weekend of 2024. I've got an updated look at that forecast in just a couple of minutes on Fox 45 News at 10.
A live look at Times Square tonight, where people have been gathering for hours waiting for the iconic ball to drop. We are just under 2 hours from ushering in the new year, and it's not just New York that's celebrating, because of course here in Baltimore, people are making the most of the holiday. This is a live look down at the Inner Harbor. Fireworks set to go off tonight at midnight to welcome in the new year. Meteorologist Amy Aronson is here now with the latest on what the weather will be like for all the people down at the Inner Harbor. And we need to welcome Amy back. It's our first day back after maternity leave. Amy, we're so glad you're here.
So happy to be here. I left and it was fall, and now we're jumping right into the winter months. So crazy how time flies after the past 3 months with my little girl. But now backtracking, some rain showers as we wrap up the year already, saying goodbye to 2023. We've got a couple of showers showing up on the radar right now. Nothing too significant to get in the way of your celebrations. We are seeing some showers in Aldersburg and out towards northwestern parts of the state. If you look closely, a few wet flakes there too, but mostly rain at this hour. And that's what it's going to stay for us, especially as we head through the day tomorrow. But let's talk about snow chances, because of course we are heading into the prime winter month for snow, and we haven't seen a ton of it, especially the past couple of years. Typically in January, we end up with about 6.5 inches. February's our big snowmaker month, 7.5 inches on average, and then numbers drop by March, just about under 3 inches of snow on average by then. Now, we do have some snow chances coming up. Tomorrow, just rain, but then a few flakes possible Thursday morning. Looks like a better snow potential coming over the weekend. That would be late Saturday into Sunday, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. Now, dark tonight as we say goodbye to 2023. It's cool out there, 44 degrees currently, not too bad. Northwesterly wind at 3 miles an hour. We are tracking that little disturbance rotating in from the north and west, and that's what's going to continue to push in as we head throughout the day tomorrow. So let's talk timing here. A couple of showers rotating through overnight. They will continue to push through tomorrow. Far from a washout, though, if you are doing anything to celebrate the new year, celebrate the first day of 2024. A couple of showers will push through around lunchtime. We're in the 40s at that point, so it's a chilly rain, but it looks like they wrap up tomorrow evening and they're gone Monday night. So here's how your Monday plays out. We will spend the day in the mid and upper 40s, mostly cloudy with some on and off showers throughout the afternoon. Now let's turn our attention to the next weather maker. I think Thursday's mostly rain too, a couple of flakes, but that's really it. Friday is dry and chilly, but then we've got to pay attention to what's moving in over the weekend. Now, right now, we are seeing that moisture arriving late Saturday. You'll notice we see some blue there. That would indicate some snow, especially north and west of Baltimore. But for some south of Baltimore, mostly rain. That will continue through Sunday. So I think Sunday is the main day to watch for that for impacts. An early look at the first weekend of 2024 shows that rain-snow mix late Saturday into Sunday. This forecast is worth watching in the week ahead. Either way, it's going to be chilly with temperatures in the low to mid 40s both days. Here's a look at how that all plays out in your full 7-day forecast. We say goodbye to 2023 with some showers tonight into tomorrow. After that, it's dry and quiet Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers on Thursday. Next weekend, that's the one to watch. Mary?
Thank you. Well, from stopping youth crime to tackling car thefts, we are taking a look at Baltimore's New Year's resolutions.
I'm Christine Frizzell with a look at the deadly violence in the Red Sea, what it means for the U.S. role in the war, and the impact on the global economy.
Iranian-backed rebels have now launched more than 100 attacks on U.S. forces since mid-October. The U.S. military now saying it killed some of them in self-defense. National correspondent Christine Frizzell takes a look at the global implications.
For more than 2 months, Iran-backed Houthi rebels have been on the attack in the Red Sea. The U.S. military announcing it was once again forced to fight back after coming under attack while responding to a distress call from a commercial ship. U.S. Central Command posting on X, small Houthi boats fired upon U.S. helicopters and the U.S. Navy returned fire in self-defense, sinking 3 of the 4 small boats and killing the crews. Some Republicans urging the Biden administration to do more.
I think the president absolutely has to look at what actions need to be taken in Yemen to be able to prevent the Houthis to continue to put commercial and military vessels at risk.
The attacks are in protest of Israel's war against Hamas, which has already resulted in the death of more than 21,000 people in Gaza. according to the health ministry there. A Houthi leader blaming the U.S. in an interview with ABC News.
Countries that attack us will be a legitimate target for us, such as the ships belonging to the usurping entity or heading to it.
But Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he anticipates a long war, even vowing to take back control over Gaza's border with Egypt.
The U.S. role is ramping up in multiple ways. The White House just bypassed Congress to approve the sale of more than $140 million in weapons to Israel, while also leading a new security effort in the Red Sea to protect vessels there called Operation Prosperity Guardian.
That effort, though, not enough to prevent many major shipping companies from avoiding the Red Sea and taking a different route altogether, which could take an extra 7 to 14 days in transit and increase costs by 15 to 20%, according to the American Journal of Transportation.
This is an attack on the whole world because 20% of global trade passes through that sea.
The global impact of Israel's war with Hamas bringing new threats to the military, national security, and now the economy. I'm Christine Frizzau reporting.
Tougher punishments for repeat offenders, holding kids accountable, and more transparency from city government. The changes some experts say Baltimore needs to make to achieve its goals in the new year. While many are welcoming in the new year, some families are mourning the loss of loved ones. This week, Fox 45's Vincent Hill spoke with Crystal Gonzalez. Her daughter, 18-year-old Aaliyah, was one of 2 people killed during the Brooklyn Day mass shooting. Crystal says more could have been done to protect her daughter, voicing frustration with the juvenile justice system.
If you were to describe the juvenile system in Maryland in one word, what would it be?
Preventable. What this is a mismanagement of resources. It's been proven. 2 of the offenders at Brooklyn Day had ankle monitors on, right? And yet, we are allowing the perpetrators of these young juveniles that we want to point the finger at, we're allowing them to be arrested and released.
Well, the Brooklyn Day mass shooting was one of the many examples of youth violence in Baltimore this year. Megan Gillen has more on the changes many are hoping to see in 2024.
In a city in crisis, there is always hope for a better tomorrow, but even that hope needs a plan. Law enforcement expert Mari Richards says it is time to hold violent repeat offenders accountable.
They need to be put in prison and given maximum sentences.
Richards says city leaders need to resolve to doing so in the new year, but he says there's also some things you can do.
I'd have everyone in the city call their representatives and tell them they want to repeal the Youth Justice Reform Act and the Interrogation Act.
Over the years, we've heard city leaders make promises to protect our streets with programs and services. But taxpayer watchdog David Williams says there needs to be full transparency when it comes to your taxpayer dollars in 2024.
It's critical to be transparent. It's critical that there's oversight and that the Inspector General in Baltimore City is giving the resources to do the oversight and make sure that they can hunt out waste, fraud, and abuse.
But at the end of the day, Pastor P.M. Smith says it is who we are as Baltimoreans that will decide our fate in the days and years to come.
I don't make resolutions, I make commitments to be a better man, to be a better father, to be a better husband, to be a better grandfather, to be a better person. Touch, impact, and change the lives of other people for good.
Legally, financially, morally, for a better Baltimore. I'm Megan Gillen, Fox 45 News.
As 2023 comes to a close, we're taking a look back at some of our favorite Maryland moments. This year, a group of 8th graders helped redefine senior prom. Fox 45 photojournalist Morgan Privado takes you to the dance.
Hi. Alzheimer's and dementia can be a very isolating disease, and we want people to know they're not alone. We want to give them the opportunity to interact with some people, to make some connections, and have a little fun.
We are having a prom for senior citizens.
It's been so many years since I've been to my prom, but it kind of brought back some good memories. I got a corsage, and I had prom pictures taken. The food was delicious, and the dancing was superb.
Left, right.
My favorite part was seeing all of my senior new friends dancing and singing and talking with each other. Some of them might not have had this opportunity when they were in school.
For many of them, whether they have Alzheimer's or memory issues or have just been on their own a lot in the last few years, being social and even engaging in a single conversation is very special. Okay, Miss Darlene. And we thought, the pandemic is almost behind us. Let's try to bring everybody together, not just senior citizens, but also the younger generation.
Oatmeal raisin. Oh, they are the best.
We thought it would be a perfect fit in talking to the folks at Loyola to have the 8th grade service project for the spring be volunteering and helping to organize the senior citizens prom.
We're just reliving memories from them they might have forgotten, or they want to just do it again. It really shows us like what we'll go through in life.
They're at a really good age where they're still receptive and open and learning, and they're also at an age where they really need a bit of wisdom and guidance from their elders.
I think it's really important because it helps us experience patience with people who might not be fully cognitive aware.
Come to the dance floor! We open it up to everybody in the community.
We were really excited that Gretchen and her sons and other students from Loyola Blakefield did a promposal that went viral.
We went to my grandmother's house, me and 3 other kids with flowers and posters, and then I walked up to the steps to knock on my grandmother's front door, and then she answered. Hi, Grammy. I went down the steps and we all sang like "Can You Go to Prom With Me" song.
Will you go to prom with me?
We wanted to make sure that everybody had a chance to hear about the prom and be able to come in and join us.
And I was invited. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but it was well worth the effort.
Making make sure that we value and cherish every single day that we have together. And that's part of what we wanted to make sure that we emphasize with the boys, is live every day to the fullest. Somebody has Alzheimer's or other dementias, they might not even remember tomorrow, but it's all about today.
Oh, so nice. Well, the 1 seed, a first round bye, and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Why the Ravens are partying like it's 2019. That's coming up next on Sports Unlimited. And that's all the news at 10. I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Morgan Adsit and Rocco DeSango join us now with Sports Unlimited. Morgan and Rocco, Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year, Mary. The AFC runs through Baltimore after the Ravens dismantled the Dolphins en route to their 6th straight win.
While everyone got in on this one, a Jackson 5 performance stole the show at the bank, and rightfully so. A 2-for-1 for the Ravens. Not only do they lock up the AFC North for the first time since 2019, the 1 seed and a first-round bye is theirs.
Another statement win for the Ravens against the Dolphins and league's #1 offense. Why John Harbaugh called it the team's most complete game.
And the first Jackson 5 of the season may have just put an end to the MVP race. The performance that has LeBron James tweeting about Lamar. That's coming up next on Sports Unlimited.
everyone, welcome to Sports Unlimited. He is Rocco DeSangro, Morgan Atzit. New Year's Eve turned into clinch Eve for the Ravens. Their second statement win in 6 days' time made them not only kings of the North, but the AFC top seed come 2024.
The AFC now runs through Baltimore for the first time since 2019 as the Ravens just dismantle Miami in their Week 17 matchup. Here's how it all went down at the bank. So much on the line in this one. Ravens looking for a little 2-for-1 with a win, but it's the Dolphins getting on the board first. Miami in the red zone, Tua Tagovailoa to Cedric Wilson Jr., 7-0 Dolphins. Ravens, though, quick to answer. Ensuing offensive possession. Jackson finds Justice Hill, and we've got ourselves a ball game. Fast forward to the second, Miami with a 10-7 lead. Lamar going to air it out. Odell Beckham Jr. falling backwards. Vintage OBJ right here on this catch. The great catch sets the Ravens up in the red zone, and Gus Edwards rolls in for his 13th rushing touchdown of the year. 14-10, Ravens lead. After another Dolphins field goal, Ravens offense back on the field. First play of the drive. I'm talking the very first play of the drive. Lamar Jackson to a wide open Zay Flowers. He's putting his hand up, calling for the ball, and the rookie just toying with the Miami secondary on his way in for 6th. His 5th touchdown in 5 games, 21-13 Ravens, and they were not done. Dolphins on 0. Tua, back to pass. Roquan Smith, look what I found. One-handed interception. He can really do it all, and that was the one-handed thing. That was a trend in this game. Lamar and the offense back on the field. They elect to go for it on 4th and 7, and it pays off. Isaiah Likely with a one-handed catch of his own. He's going to tightrope the sideline here for the touchdown. You're going to watch it. Ravens, they led 28-13 at the half as Isaiah Likely just rolls in for 6. For the second half, Lamar and the offense pick up right where they left off. Lamar to Likely, walks in for his second touchdown of the game, 35-13 Ravens. After a Gus Edwards fumble, Dolphins offense on the field. Geno Stone says, you know what, I got you, Gus. That's going to be his 7th interception of the year. Ravens offense, though, unable to capitalize. Dolphins back with it, knocking on the door. Tua to Devon Achane. Miami makes it a 2-possession game. But this wouldn't be a repeat of last year's matchup. Remember that? Yeah, we want to forget about it. Foot on the gas pedal, back in the red zone. Lamar to the big man, Pat Ricard, and Pancake Pat. One-handed catches all around. That's a Jackson 5, Morgan. 42-19 Ravens. Everyone finding the end zone in this one, including Melvin Gordon on the next Ravens offensive possession. He's in for 6. 49-19, and the icing on the cake. Tyler Huntley in the game. The Pro Bowler connects with Charlie Kohler for the 19-yard score as the Ravens roll over the Dolphins 56-19. Hey, Coach Harbaugh, how's it feel to be the 1 seed in the AFC?
Adversity, travel, quality of opponents we've had to play, to step up and play the way they had and to put an exclamation point on it, triple exclamation points on it with a performance like this. Pretty much a well-rounded, perfect performance like that after the opening bell. Even that, to bounce back from the beginning of the game the way they did, it says about who they are, and I just have so much respect for them.
The Ravens blow out the Dolphins 56-19 behind a 5-touchdown game from Lamar Jackson, 18 of 21, 321 yards passing, 35 more on the ground, no picks. LeBron's loving it. He says give him the trophy. Isaiah Likely 2 catches for 42 yards and 2 tuds. Zay Flowers 3 catches, 106 yards, and a score.
The most impressive thing about the Ravens this season is they took care of their own business, rose to every challenge through injuries, big games, and clinched 2 things on New Year's Eve, the AFC North and #1 seed for the playoffs, both first in 4 years. And to trump all of that, it's the way they did it. Wins over the 49ers and Dolphins, top teams in the NFL this season, in 6 days' time, and left no doubt in those performances, taking care of both by combined 51 points, putting the rest of the league on notice. They are the best team entering the playoffs and not done yet.
We still have a lot to get going on. You know, we got to finish this season the right way. We had one obstacle. We finished that obstacle. We got Steelers next week. You know, so that's how I'm staying focused this season, just taking it one game at a time like I've been preaching to you guys all season.
The bank, man. I never played here prior to coming here, never got a chance to play in Baltimore, but, like,